Hello everyone, I'm Jack. It's so great to be here with you today.
And I'm Elena. Welcome to our podcast. We're really happy you joined us. Today, we're going to talk about something very important for learning English, vocabulary.
Yes, vocabulary is the foundation of any language. The more words you know, the easier it is to understand, speak, read, and write in English.
Exactly. When you have a strong vocabulary, you can express yourself better. You can share your ideas, your feelings, and your thoughts clearly and easily.
That's right. Sometimes people say, I understand grammar, but I don't have enough words, or I can't find the right word when I want to speak.
Yes, that's very common, but don't worry. That's why we are here, to help you improve your vocabulary in simple and fun ways.
Let's start by asking a question. How can you improve your vocabulary? What are some good ways to learn new words?
Good question, Jack. One way is reading. When you read books, short stories, articles, or even news, you see many new words. And you see those words in real sentences, so it's easier to understand how to use them.
Absolutely. And reading doesn't have to be boring. You can choose topics you enjoy. For example, if you like food, read recipes or food blogs. If you like sports, read sports news. This way, learning becomes fun.
That's a great tip. Another way to improve vocabulary is listening. You can listen to English music, podcasts like this one, or watch movies and TV shows in English. When you hear the same words many times, you start to remember them.
Yes, listening is very powerful. Also, try writing new words in a notebook. Make a small dictionary for yourself. You can write the word, the meaning, and a sentence using that word. That helps your brain remember better.
And don't forget to practice speaking. Even if you are alone, you can say the words out loud. Repeat them. Talk to yourself in English. Say things like, "Today I am learning the word excited." "I feel excited because I'm learning English."
Haha, yes, speaking to yourself is a fun way to practice. And if you have a friend who is also learning English, you can practice together. Try using new words in your conversation. That way, you use the words in real life.
That's a smart idea. And here's another simple tip. Use flashcards. Write a new word on one side and the meaning on the other. You can test yourself every day. It's a great way to review.
Yes, flashcards are great. And now, let's talk about something important. Don't try to learn too many words at once. It's better to learn 5 to 10 words and really understand them than to try to learn 50 words and forget most of them.
That's true. Focus on quality, not quantity. Learn slowly and deeply. Use the new words many times. Repeat them often.
Also, try to connect new words to your life. If you learn the word journey, think about your own life journey. Or if you learn the word delicious, think about your favorite food. This connection helps you remember better.
Yes, make words personal. Make them part of your world. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learning a language is not about being perfect. It's about trying, practicing, and improving step by step.
That's so important. Mistakes are normal. Everyone makes them. The important thing is to keep going and keep learning.
Also, remember that repetition is your friend. If you see a new word once, you may forget it. But if you see it 10 times, hear it, write it, say it, then you remember it forever.
Yes, repetition is like glue. It helps new words stick in your mind. So don't be upset if you forget a word. Just review it again and again.
And here's something fun you can try. Use new words in a story. Take 5 new words and write a small story using them. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just be creative and have fun with English.
That's a fun exercise. And speaking of fun, let's talk about games. You can use word games like crossword puzzles, word search games, or online vocabulary games. These are good ways to learn without feeling like you are studying.
Yes, learning can be playful too. Some mobile apps help you practice vocabulary in exciting ways. Just 10 minutes a day can make a big difference.
Also, when you learn a word, try to learn related words too. For example, if you learn the word happy, try to learn happiness, unhappy, happily. This helps you grow your vocabulary faster.
That's a great technique. It's called word families. You learn more words by understanding how they change form. And that's really helpful when speaking or writing in English.
You're absolutely right. And one more thing, sometimes students try to translate everything into their own language. But it's better to think in English. Try to understand the meaning in English, not always in your native language.
Yes, thinking in English helps you speak faster and more naturally. It's hard at first, but with time and practice, it becomes easier.
So, to sum up so far, there are many ways to improve your vocabulary: reading, listening, writing, speaking, flashcards, repetition, using new words, word families, thinking in English, and even playing games.
Exactly. And you don't need to do everything in one day. Just choose one or two things and start. Small steps every day will take you far.
That's a good message to remember. Learning vocabulary is a journey, not a race. And we are here with you on that journey.
Yes, we're walking together word by word, step by step.
And I really like what you said, Elena, word by word, step by step. That's how real progress happens. You don't need to rush. Just be consistent, and you will see results.
Yes, and I think it's important to say this again. Don't be afraid to use new words. Even if you're not sure you're saying them perfectly, it's okay. That's how learning works.
Exactly. Actually, I remember when I started learning a new language. I always wanted to speak perfectly, but I realized later that using the words, even with small mistakes, helped me improve faster.
That's a great point. Many learners wait until they feel ready, but sometimes you never feel completely ready. You just have to try.
Right. Let's talk a little more about using new words in real life. For example, let's say you learn the word confused. Try to use it in your daily conversation. You could say, I was confused during the math class today, or I feel confused when people speak too fast.
That's a very good example. The more you use a word, the more comfortable it becomes. It's like using a new tool. At first, it feels strange. But after some time, it feels natural.
And here's another idea. Try to group words by topic. For example, learn words about food, travel, emotions, or jobs. When you learn words from the same category, it's easier to remember them.
Yes, like if you're learning about food, you can learn words like delicious, salty, spicy, fresh, meal ingredients. You can build your vocabulary around one idea. That really helps your memory.
And then, when you talk about food, you already have a group of words in your mind. You feel more confident because you know how to describe things better.
I also suggest learning common phrases and not just single words. For example, instead of only learning the word excited, learn the phrase I'm excited about. You can say, I'm excited about my trip, or I'm excited about learning English.
That's a great idea. When you learn phrases, you don't have to think too much about grammar. You can just use the whole phrase when you speak.
Exactly. Phrases give you more natural English. Also, they help you sound more fluent and confident.
Let's also talk about something many learners ask. How many times do I need to see a word to remember it? Well, there's no perfect number, but most people need to see or use a word at least 6 to 10 times before they really remember it.
That's true. So if you learn a new word today, don't forget to review it tomorrow and again next week. Seeing the word again and again helps your brain keep it longer.
Yes, and try to use it in different situations. Don't only read the word, say it, write it, hear it, and use it in speaking. That's how you make a word your friend.
I love that, make a word your friend. That's a great way to think about vocabulary. Every new word you learn is a new friend who helps you speak better.
Haha. Yes, and just like with friends, the more time you spend with a word, the stronger the relationship becomes.
That's a beautiful way to say it. So, when you see a word again, don't think, oh, I already saw this word. Think, great. I'm spending more time with my friend.
Exactly, and also, try to notice how words change in different contexts. Sometimes a word has more than one meaning. Like the word light, it can mean not heavy, or it can also mean something that helps you see in the dark.
Yes, that's a good example. Some words have different meanings depending on the sentence. That's why it's important to see words in full sentences, not only as single words in a list.
And if you find a word confusing, don't give up. Just look at more examples. Use a dictionary that gives simple definitions and examples, or better, ask a friend or a teacher.
Yes, asking questions is a great way to learn. Never feel shy to ask, "What does this word mean?" Or "Can you give me an example?" That's how you grow.
And remember, it's okay to forget words. Forgetting is part of learning. Just review again. Every time you come back to a word, you make it stronger in your mind.
Yes, your brain needs repetition. Just like your muscles need exercise to get stronger, your memory needs review to keep words strong.
So true. And one last thing I want to mention for now, try to make learning vocabulary a daily habit. Just a few minutes every day can give big results over time.
Absolutely. You don't need to study for hours. Just 10 or 15 minutes of focused learning can help you move forward step by step.
That's so true, Elena. A small daily habit can really change everything. And the good thing is, you don't even need a lot of special tools. Just a notebook, a pen, and a little time each day can help you build strong vocabulary.
Yes, and writing things down is really powerful. When you write a word in your notebook, it stays in your mind longer. You can also write the meaning, the translation in your language, and 1 or 2 example sentences.
Exactly. And I think it's also useful to write synonyms and antonyms. For example, if you learn the word happy, you can also write a synonym like glad or joyful. Then, write an opposite word like sad.
That's a great tip. When you connect words together, you understand them better. And it also helps when you want to say something in a different way, using another word with a similar meaning.
Yes, because sometimes when you forget one word, you can use another word that's close in meaning. That keeps the conversation going, and you don't feel stuck.
And you know what else helps a lot? Reading. Even short reading every day gives you so many new words. You don't need to read a whole book. You can read short stories, news articles, or even simple blog posts.
Absolutely. Reading is one of the best ways to learn vocabulary in context. You don't just see the word, you also understand how it is used in real life.
Right. For example, if you read, "She was exhausted after work," you understand that exhausted means very tired. It's much easier to remember that way than just reading a list of words.
That's true. And reading also helps with spelling and grammar. You see how words work in a sentence, and your brain learns that naturally, without stress.
Another idea is to use flashcards. Some learners love using flashcards, either on paper or with apps. You write the word on one side, and the meaning or an example sentence on the other side.
Yes, and flashcards are great for quick review. You can use them while you're waiting for the bus, or when you have 5 free minutes. A little practice here and there really helps.
Also, some people enjoy using color coding. You can use different colors for verbs, adjectives, or nouns. It makes your notes more fun and easier to remember.
That's a nice idea. Color can help your brain remember faster. And sometimes, it just makes studying feel more interesting and less boring.
And if you like drawing, you can even draw pictures next to new words. For example, if you learn the word apple, draw a small apple beside the word. It's fun, and it helps your memory.
Definitely. That's called visual learning. Some people remember pictures better than words, so using both can really help.
Also, I want to talk about speaking practice. It's one thing to learn a word, but it's another thing to say it out loud. Speaking helps you remember better because your brain connects the sound with the meaning.
Yes, and don't be shy to talk to yourself in English. It might feel strange at first, but it's great practice. You can describe what you're doing, like, "I'm washing the dishes," or "I'm going to the supermarket."
That's a wonderful method. You can even create short stories using new words. For example, if you learn the word climb, make a sentence like, "Yesterday, I climbed a hill near my house."
Nice example. Telling stories is a great way to bring vocabulary to life. And stories also help you remember emotions and situations, not just words.
Yes, when you connect a word with a story or a feeling, it becomes stronger in your memory. It's not just a word anymore. It's part of an experience.
That's such a powerful idea. So maybe after learning a few new words, try writing a short story or paragraph. Even 5 sentences is good. The goal is to use the words, not just look at them.
Exactly, because real learning comes from using the words, not just collecting them. It's like learning how to cook. You need to actually cook, not just read the recipe.
Haha, yes, great example. Vocabulary is the same. You need to try, use, repeat, and enjoy the process. Even small steps take you forward.
And remember, vocabulary learning is not a race. It's a journey. Everyone has their own speed, and that's perfectly okay. The most important thing is not to stop.
That's so true, Ilona. Learning a language is not about being fast, it's about being consistent. Even if you learn just 1 or 2 new words a day, you're moving forward. And after a few months, you'll see a big difference.
Yes, small steps really do make a big change. And one more important thing is repetition. You can't just learn a word once and remember it forever. You need to see it and use it many times.
Exactly. That's why it's helpful to review old words often. Don't forget the words you learned last week or last month. Try to use them again in your speaking and writing.
And do you know what helps me a lot? Saying the word out loud several times. For example, if I learn the word interesting, I say it a few times, interesting, interesting, interesting. It helps me remember the sound and the stress of the word.
That's a great technique. It's like teaching your mouth and brain to work together. And sometimes I even create fun sentences to make the word easier to remember. Like, this book is more interesting than watching TV.
I like that idea. It makes learning more personal. Another helpful trick is to use new vocabulary in your daily routine. For example, when you make a shopping list, try writing it in English: milk, eggs, butter, apples.
Yes, and you can even label things in your house. Put small notes on your furniture, table, chair, mirror, window. Seeing the words every day helps you remember naturally.
That's true. Your home can become your classroom. And it doesn't feel like hard work. You're learning in a fun, relaxed way.
And don't forget the power of questions. You can ask yourself questions like, what's the opposite of hot? Or what is another word for beautiful? This kind of thinking makes your brain more active.
Good point. Questions help you go deeper. And you can also play word games with friends or by yourself. Games like word matching, crossword puzzles, or even simple quizzes can make vocabulary practice fun.
Absolutely. Learning doesn't have to be boring. The more you enjoy it, the more you will remember. I also like using songs and movies. Listening to English music helps you hear new words in a natural way.
Yes, and sometimes you don't need to understand every word in a song. Just focus on 1 or 2 new words, write them down, look them up, and try to sing along.
That's a fun way to learn. And movies or TV shows are great too. You can watch with subtitles in your language first, then later try watching with English subtitles. You'll start picking up common words and phrases.
Right, and you learn how people really speak, not just textbook English, but real conversation. That's very helpful if you want to speak naturally and confidently.
Definitely. And one more thing, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. If you try to use a new word and you say it wrong, it's okay. You're learning.
Yes, mistakes help us grow. Every good learner makes mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. What's important is that you try again and keep going.
Exactly. Be proud of every new word you learn. Celebrate your progress, even if it feels small. Learning vocabulary is like planting seeds. It takes time, but soon you'll see a garden full of words.
That's such a beautiful way to say it, Jack. Vocabulary is the base of everything in a language. When you have more words, you can express your thoughts better and feel more confident when you speak.
Yes, and with each new word, you open a new door in your language journey. So don't stop learning, keep exploring, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the process.
Yes, Jack, I agree. Every new word is like a small key that helps you open more doors in your English journey. And the more words you learn, the easier it becomes to speak, listen, read, and write in English. It's all connected.
That's true. When your vocabulary grows, your confidence grows too. You don't feel stuck when you speak, you can choose the right words, and you feel more comfortable in conversations.
Exactly. And remember, learning vocabulary doesn't have to be difficult. You can use many simple and fun methods: reading stories, watching movies, singing songs, writing your thoughts in a journal, or playing word games.
And don't forget to repeat the words often, use them in your daily life, and don't worry about making mistakes. That's part of the learning process.
Yes, so let's quickly review what we talked about today. We shared different ways to improve your vocabulary. We talked about reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We also shared ideas like keeping a notebook, labeling things at home, using apps, playing games, and more. All of these can help you learn and remember new words.
And now, let's look at some of the important words we used today. These words can help you in everyday English.
Let's start with the first one. 1. Vocabulary. The words you know and use in a language. Example: learning new vocabulary helps me speak better English.
2. Practice. To do something again and again to improve. Example: you need to practice English every day.
3. Repetition. Doing something many times. Example: repetition helps you remember new words.
4. Label. A small note with a name on something. Example: I put a label on my desk that says desk in English.
5. Confident. Feeling sure and strong in yourself. Example: I feel more confident when I speak English now.
6. Mistake. Something that is not correct. Example: don't worry if you make a mistake, just try again.
7. Learn. To get knowledge or skill. Example: I want to learn more English words.
8. Technique. A way or method of doing something. Example: saying the word out loud is a good learning technique.
9. Daily routine. The things you do every day. Example: you can add English practice to your daily routine.
Great job if you already knew some of these words. And even better if you just learned something new today.
Yes, and don't worry, learning English takes time. You're doing amazing by just listening and trying. Keep going, step by step.
And thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We hope this podcast helped you and gave you new ideas for learning vocabulary.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to follow our channel so you can listen to more English lessons like this one.
Your support means a lot to us. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep learning.
Take care, everyone. Keep growing your vocabulary every day, one word at a time.
Goodbye and see you next time.
Bye-bye.